Shall we see what's in store for 2025? It's the 31st of December here. It's New Year's Eve. I got something in my eye. I got something in my eye. That might mean something. It's 2025, nearly. And, we got the Page of Swords. I started a minute ago and this one came out in reverse. What's on the bottom of the deck? Temperance. Okay. So temperance is about learning to balance things. It's alchemizing things. It is taking one substance and turning it into another, taking anger and turning it into hope, taking pain and turning it into blessings. The Page of Swords talks about coming back to meditation, contemplation, to come at things from a more unestablished way of being. The pages are just at the beginning of the cycle before they become, the queen, the king, and so forth, the knight, and so forth. So it feels a little bit like you're being encouraged to take stock. I've just split to the deck, the King of Swords, the Ten of Cups is showing itself to us, and the Three of Wands. So this is kind of like taking stock of where you're at a little bit, it feels like. Three of Swords talks about things, blessings waiting to come in. Looking out onto the horizon and seeing what's coming for you. 1, 2, 3 on the time when I say that. So again, progression, steady progression. The Ten of Swords, the Ten of Cups even, is happiness and fulfillment. And the King of Swords is kind of where the Page of Swords is wanting to progress to. What is this progression? Have we progressed? Do we need to? What's going on? Okay, the World. And the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. So the World cards talks about completion. So it feels a little bit like you've actually done a lot of work and that you are in a cycle now of completion. I feel like this little donkey is kind of really much about that slow plodding forward. That song, little donkey, with your precious load, got to keep on plodding onward with your precious load. And like the donkey's taking Jesus, isn't he? Or is he taking Mary to go and... I don't know. But he's taking Mary, I think, to go and born Jesus. And as the Knight of Pentacles, this is that slow, steady energy towards creation of wealth. It's not like rushing forwards. It's having a plan of where you're going. I do think you're being asked to kind of sit in contemplation at this current moment in time and just actually make sure that you know where you're going. They're just saying to me, piss poor planning leads to piss poor performance, is what they just said to me. And look at that, the King of Pentacles on the bottom. So we've had this twice now where, the Knight of Pentacles moving into the King of Pentacles, and really beautiful imagery on this card here. And then also the Page of Swords going into the King of Swords. So it feels very much like initiation, graduation. You are mastering something so that you may move on to the next level, which feels nice at the time of a New Year's because, we're graduating from 2024 and into 2025, but also... what is it that you're leaving behind in 2024? And the Tower card. This is something that you need to let go of. So what is this? And perhaps it's that sense of identity that you're a beginner still, or that you haven't mastered this thing. And I said the Ten of Wands. It just showed itself to me a minute ago. Queen of Wands popping herself out there with the Devil card here. I feel a little bit like sometimes your thoughts betray you because you think you're not as far on as you actually are. And so it's like... you're always like, I'm a beginner because you're being humble, but actually you're not a fucking beginner. Like, you've been doing this shit for ages. Like, you need to step forward into being like, I'm an accomplished badass bitch. Like, I've been reading tarot for 22 years plus. But if you said to me like, do you think you're like a master tarot reader? I'd be like, no, which is fucking stupid because my other channel's got like 15,000 followers on it. Do you know what I mean? I've made a fucking business out of tarot reading. So it's a bit retarded of me to think that, no, I'm not a master at this. She says as she splits to the Empress backed by the Knight of Pentacles again. What you're creating, you're manifesting through your thoughts. And it's like, if you're always thinking like, I'm just starting, then you'll always be just starting. But they want you to realize actually you're a master of things. Judgment coming in here, backed by the King of Wands. followed again by the Queen of Pentacles and then the King of Pentacles and the Wheel of Fortune. It's like, baby, you've got this really beautiful karmic beginning to step into that is pretty wealthy by the looks of it, pretty fortuitous. But what you've got to realize is that you're not just beginning. It feels a little bit like that graduation from the maiden to the mother cycle. And I think if you haven't had children, I think that can be kind of a bit difficult. I haven't had kids. So it can be a bit difficult here. Yeah, Five of Pentacles, because it can leave you feeling like you haven't achieved enough, or you're a bit left out in the cold from all of these other situations where people seem to be kind of graduating into adulthood. But you don't need to have like a baby to become an adult. Like, you know, if you've done a business, or you've graduated from uni, or you've done anything difficult that was stressful and hard and you've seen it through, that's not really much different to having a child, really. I know people who probably had kids are just like, the fuck are you talking about? But it's completely different. But it isn't really. Like, if you had the balls to like continue through anything hard and you stuck at it, it's not really much different. So you need to kind of recognize that actually you're not this beginner anymore. You're not still a maiden. You're a mother now. And, you know, you might not have children, but you're still in the mother zone of knowledge and awareness and capability. And the Fool is coming out here for us, 69 on the timer there, to remind us that, like, yeah, you're a beginner, you know, because the fool people see like you're starting this new journey, and so you're a beginner in it. But if you've done the Fool's journey 100 times and you've started a new thing 100 times, are you really a beginner anymore? I wouldn't say so, because ultimately you might have started something new, and it might be something new you're starting, but if you've had 100 new starts, a new start isn't new for you anymore. And it's giving me that vibe. I kind of feel like you need to recognize that you are the High Priestess. That you're like a pro at this alchemization shit of like burn it all to the ground and re-begin again. 7-1 summer on the timer there. So just own it. Step into it. Yeah, the Hermit. Like, just step into who you are, this wise sage. Because look at this again, underneath. King of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. Underneath is you stepping into your absolute, like, Don energy. But you can't be the Don when you're still like, I don't know, am I good enough to run the mafia? Like, you're good enough to run the mafia. Be the fucking mafia Don that you are. You just have to step into it, and you have to own it, because if you question yourself, everybody else will question you. Okay, Happy New Year. Bye, guys.